Ay, ay, ay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the corner. Welcome to your latest Chelsea news. Well, breaking news, really. This is not the way we wanted to start post the international break. Had so much high hopes. I'm sure you guys, the audience out there, the viewers, the supporters, you guys all had high hopes that this player, Cole Palmer, post the international break, was slowly going to return back. Maybe some minutes against Burnley, maybe featuring against Barcelona, maybe starting against Arsenal. These were the hopes that we had. Us fans were looking forward to Cole Palmer rejoining back with Chelsea Football Club. But no, ladies and gentlemen, the latest is he's fractured his toe and he's definitely out for Burnley, Barcelona, and Arsenal. Three big fixtures that I feel personally could design and shape exactly how our season is going to turn out to be, well, at least for the immediate future in the month of December, where things generally go south for us. And we needed this player back. We needed his genius back. But now we're going to have to do without him. Now, without further ado, let's have a look at the news. What's going on? Well, it starts off like this. Enzo Maresca on Cole Palmer. The press conference just finished literally maybe an hour ago. He's probably not available for tomorrow for sure. Barcelona for sure. Arsenal for sure. Unfortunately, he had an incident at home with his toe. He had an incident at home with his toe. I mean, what type of incident was it that you fractured your toe? I can understand people banging there, especially the pinky toe, the little toe. You can bang it here and there. It hurts. I know it hurts. But to fracture it, I don't know. Look, he must have done something crazy. It is accidental. So, look, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. All I'm going to say is, Cole Palmer, look after yourself a little bit more, man. Please look after yourself. These unfortunate incidents, it's detrimental to Chelsea Football Club. It's simple as that. Unfortunately, he had an accident at home with his toe, but it's nothing important for sure. He's not back next week. So he's going to miss out on an important week. Yes, it's nothing important. Sure, it's not long-term. Fantastic. But nonetheless, man, Burnley, maybe none of us actually thought that he's going to start against Burnley, but thought maybe some minutes off the bench, because the rumors were, and there's pictures out there, that he's back training with team training. I don't know, but he's back on the grass. He's training and he's recovered well from his groin injury. So there was rumors that potentially, he's been penciled down to make some minutes against Burnley and then perhaps even start against Barcelona. I didn't probably have that much hope that he was going to start, but he was going to feature. And then I thought maybe against Arsenal, he might actually start. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it's all down the drains. Enzo Maresca speaks more on Palmer's toe injury. We don't know. It's fractured. I mean, whatever the accident was pretty massive. For you to look, the general people, we get bangs here and there. We don't fracture something. For you to fracture something, it was a big impact. It had to be a big impact. So whatever accident happened, damn, it must have had a pretty big impact on his toe. The only thing we know, he's not available for this week and next week. So not available this week, so he's not training. Obviously, Burnley game. And then next week, he's not available for Barcelona or Arsenal. I wake up many times in the night to go to the toilet. I hit my head and leg and everything. It can happen. I mean, Enzo Maresca, yeah, this guy. You don't need to bring up excuses. Bottom line, accident happened, sure. Cole Palmer, all I can say is be careful. Brother, be careful. Whatever you've done, please be careful. For Enzo Maresca, I wake up many times at night. What are you doing? How are you waking up? We got obstacles everywhere. Why you got obstacles next to your bed? You're waking up from the bed. It should be a clear area where you don't bang your head and you don't bang anything near you, and you go to the toilet. Are you half sleepy? Look, I'm not going to pretend. I've banged my leg here and there, sure, but nothing to that extent where I've got a fracture. it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have to make do without Cole Palmer once again. We've done it all this time so far. Cole Palmer's missed quite a lot of games, and we've done it. And we're going to have to continue doing it again. We're going to have to continue finding solution without Cole Palmer against Burnley, against Barcelona, and against Arsenal, which is huge. But I'm pretty confident still that the team that we have available should be more than capable enough to do something in these upcoming matches, especially against Burnley. I fully expect us to beat Burnley. Now, next up, a few more information. Enzo Maresca on Axel Disasi. I said many times that Axel and Raheem are Chelsea players. Axel is helping the second team, the young players. We had 5 or 6 players here during the break, and Axel was part of some sessions with the second team players, but I think it's just one session. At the moment, he's helping the second team. He is Chelsea player, and he is with the second team. So, ladies and gentlemen, Axel Disasi, like I expected. International break, quite a lot of players were out. We needed Disasi to fill in the numbers, which he did. And now he's going to be back to the second team because all the players that were representing in the international scene have returned, and we no longer need Disasi's services. So look, bottom line, he was never going to return back to the Chelsea squad. All of that nonsense that all the journalists were talking about were complete fibs. Bottom line, Axel Disasi needs to leave Chelsea Football Club. And January window, I hope he does leave. And I hope Chelsea does the level best to find him a home. Enzo Maresca on Jurgensen's transfer rumors. I spoke with Philip at the beginning of the season, and I didn't speak with Philip in the last days about that. All the players that don't play a lot, they want more minutes. It's completely normal. Yeah, of course, it's completely normal. For me, look, I'm not too perturbed, to be honest. I'm not too fussed. You want to leave, you can leave. The problem is we need a secondary goalkeeper. Now, this guy is not good enough to be a second goalkeeper. He's not even good enough to be a first goalkeeper. So I've got no qualms about him leaving or us selling him. What I would like, however, is, keep him for the end of this season as a secondary keeper, and then in the summer, sell. Mike Penders comes in, and then it's a battle between Sanchez and Mike Penders down the track. We'll see what happens. As long as Sanchez can continue on with his form. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Enzo Maresca on Estevao. He's back from international team where he scored 2 goals. He's very happy, and we are very happy with him. Of course, the kid's confidence level should be sky high, and I hope, the form that he's on is in absolute peak form right now. I hope it continues. Now there's no Cole Palmer. I'm pretty sure he's going to be an important factor for us against Burnley, against Barcelona, and against Arsenal. And boy, he can make some huge headlines in this upcoming week, where we are looking at Estevao for providing that extra bit of excitement up front. And I'm sure, this player, he's got it in him. Like he's so, he's so humble, he's so down to earth, but he's so confident about his skill set. So I'm very, very confident that he's about to do something special for us. Malo Gusto now. Some news in regards to Malo Gusto coming from Enzo Maresca on Gusto's recent form. We said many times that Malo is a main player in the way we want to play. He can play in different positions. We like players that we can be dynamic with. Malo, personally, I consider him a main player for us. Look, I've always said Malo Gusto, he understands the tactics very well because he's always in the right spot. When a player is deployed with certain instructions and he's always there tactically, you can see he's there when he needs to be in the right back. He's there when he needs to be inverting in midfield. He's there as a half space player. He's there as a winger. When you see that the player's there, wherever, whenever that player needs to be, he's there. That's when you know the player understands tactics. The issue with Malo Gusto is execution. So whenever he's wherever he needs to be, the pass needs to be crisp. The cross needs to be crisp. Great that he scored the goal against Wolves. Brilliant. I hope he scores more goals because he gets into goal-scoring positions. And I hope he produces more assists because he gets into very, very dangerous positions. So that is something that Malo Gusto needs to work on, is the execution. Enzo Maresca on progressive passing against Wolves. It will be a different game. Tomorrow we need to use different strategy and weapons. It will be a tough game after the international break. 12:30 away. It's always a difficult game. I mean, look, I had full-on confidence moving into this match. I still do, but obviously with this Cole Palmer negative news, it's kind of put a little bit of a dampener. But nonetheless, I still expect us to beat Burnley with or without Cole Palmer. It doesn't really matter. Yes, it's going to be a little bit of a different strategy, of course. Burnley, they could deploy something different. We'll see. But the bottom line is Burnley haven't been good this season. They're one of the whipping boys, and I fully expect them to be relegated by the end of this season. So we need to take care of business against Burnley. They conceded a lot of goals. Enzo Maresca on Cole Palmer's groin problem. He was very close. He was back with us almost with a groin, which is very good news, but he has this small problem, which is the toe issue. Very, very sad situation. Enzo Maresca on Cole Palmer's World Cup hopes. For me personally, Cole is one of our best players. No doubt that he can play in the international team, but it's Thomas's decision. Look, Cole Palmer needs to start playing ASAP. You want to make it to that World Cup, there's only 6 more months left. Just about 6-7 months. You want to make it to that World Cup, you need to start playing for Chelsea Football Club ASAP. All of these freakish accidents and whatnot, yeah, you got to limit it, and you got to get over that growing injury. And once you come back, you've got to be on fire. If your form isn't good enough, you're not going to be selected for England. It's as simple as that. So hopefully Cole Palmer can be on fire, which will then essentially mean we're going to be on fire. So it's perfect. Hopefully that will motivate him to do well, and also will propel us to greater heights. Enzo Maresca on other injury issues. Moises Caicedo came back last night. I will see him soon. He is good. Benoit Badiashile can be available for tomorrow, which is a big, big news. Benoit Badiashile is going to be an important defender for us. Hopefully he can perform the way he performed against Liverpool. Stay away from any more injuries, because Wesley Fofana won't be able to play every single game, which means Badiashile will then play on those alternative games. And it's good for Badiashile for the time being, because I don't expect Badiashile to play 2 or 3 games per week. I also expect Badiashile to play just once a week, much like Wesley Fofana, until both of these players get to a point where they can play multiple games a week. So good to see that Badiashile is available against Burnley. I still do feel it should be Chalobah and Wesley Fofana, but Benoit Badiashile down the track, the combination with him and Wesley Fofana could be the final combination for this season at least. Enzo Fernandez and Pedro Neto used the break to recover their energy and their injuries. They are both available for tomorrow. Fantastic news for us. I didn't think they weren't going to be available. I fully expected that this international break was going to be utilized by those players to re-energize, and that's exactly what has happened. Enzo Maresca says more on Palmer's toe problem. The last time I saw him was yesterday morning, and he was without socks, without flip-flops, without nothing. I don't know how he's today. It was in the changing room. He wasn't limping. He seemed okay, but it's his small toe, so it can be painful. So there you go. Look, unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. We're going to miss out on him. Some silly toe issues. These sort of things can happen, I guess. These sort of things can happen. Unfortunately, it's happened to us. I truly wish it didn't, but it has, and he's going to miss out. Let's have a look if there's any more news, latest news. Enzo Maresca, let me just show more that. There we go. Enzo Maresca on Chelsea coping without Palmer. Absolutely not. Laughs. I don't think that the team prefer it when Cole is playing. I feel much better with Cole on the pitch. But when he is not, we need to find solutions. The team is doing fantastic, really well. From any manager, it's nice when you miss a player, but the team still plays in the way you want it to. So, yeah, of course, we're a much better unit with Cole Palmer. But when he's not available, what can you do? You have to find ways to carry on. And that's exactly what we're going to have to do, one game at a time. Burnley, as I said, with or without Cole Palmer, it doesn't matter. We need to do our business. All of these things are retweets. Cole Palmer stubbed his small toe on a door. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Cole Palmer stubbed his small toe on a door. I mean, wow, you must have stubbed it so bad that you fractured your toe. Just be careful, brother. Seriously, Cole Palmer, please try and be as careful as possible. Let's have a look if there's any other news that's been popping about. But obviously, the breaking news right now is the Cole Palmer situation. He's unavailable, ladies and gentlemen, for the upcoming fixtures. Palmer's toe is fractured on his left foot. He hit it on a door in his house. Wow, man. Left foot as well, obviously, his important foot that he utilizes to wand his magic, basically. But hopefully it's as Maresca said, it's not serious, but he's going to miss out on this week. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about everything we spoke about. Do you feel confident without Cole Palmer, especially against Barcelona and Arsenal? Let me know your thoughts. Smash up the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Till next time, take care. See ya. Bye.